swings around, a blade above my head reminds me what to do before I'm dead. Night consumes light and all the dread reminds me what to do before I'm dead.
Damien was my first, and with your first, when you're pregnant, it's the first kick. You always remember your first everything. Well, that wasn't like my first. Damien was born on August 6th of 79, weighing 7 pounds, 9 ounces, just so full of life. I didn't get to name him. His name would have been Daniel Eric. I had some complications and was in intensive care. And Damien's father, Steve, named him Damien. Oh, Lord. I stopped getting phone calls from Damien around the 18th of May. And I would start calling his house. At that time, he didn't have an answering machine. So we'd let it ring. I find myself getting up at 2 o'clock in the morning and trying to call. Before I go to work, when I get home from work. On June 6th, my sister Dana called me and said, "Have you heard from Damien?" And I said, "No, why? What did you hear?" "I've been calling him, oh my God. Did he call you?" "No." We went down to his apartment. There's a lot of notes on the door asking why he's not getting a hold of anybody. I said, "What are you telling me that I don't know?" She said, "Well, I was at Damien's house. The phone rang and I answered it, and it was a young guy that said you might want to check the jails or the hospitals." Well, Dana then called me and came up and got me at 10 o'clock at night, and we went to Warren Police. First mistake. Officer Shemeni, and I can't remember the other officer, would not even let us in the building until we said, "I think it has something to do with drugs." We were then ushered right into the police station, through the back door into this room. What do you know? What do you know? Well, I believe that night I had answered all their questions to file a missing police report. I was wrong. It took over 2 weeks for this report to get filed, for it to be notarized. I had no idea that they were putting it off because they thought Damien committed suicide. I heard one of them, "Committed suicide, just give it a few days. A body will wash up or we'll find it." Tried to explain the way Damien was, and he's never taken off. He's not the type of kid to just leave, go out of town without telling his mother and his father. 22 years old, he's still telling us where he's going, how long he's going to be, when he's going to be back. When he gets back, he's calling us, "We're back." He was a good kid. Laughed, great baby. Slept when he was supposed to sleep. Hardly up in the middle of the night ever. Had to be something big. Damien loved sports. Didn't like school too much, but went. He was so happy in high school when he was able to wrestle with the big guys, is what he said. Now he can gain the weight. He was muscular and came by it naturally, like his dad, but he liked to lift. even when he was little. Look, look, I'm lifting, I'm lifting. He went to Bosnia and Kosovo. And it was a little scarier times there. And I would get letters like, boy, the kids here, Mom, they're so poor. Do you think you can talk to your boss and maybe get some socks and some mittens or something? And how about a bunch of boxes of Little Debbie's? Damien was over there for about 9 months. He was stationed at Fort Drum. He would come home for the weekend, and he would have 3 nights. One night to be with his father, one night to be with his friends, and the next night to, stay with me, watch movies, have his favorite dinner, soak off his black fingernail polish, and for me to do his laundry before he drove back. Dressed in black, but he wasn't cultish. He wasn't a cult or sacrificing anything, you know. It took almost a month before we were able to put out missing persons flyers. They thought it was going to be a big drug bust. They were going to make their names for it. This is just my assumption and the rest of Warren because of the way we were treated. I couldn't get anything answered. They wouldn't tell us anything. Then I was pulled in with the DA Hernan at the time and said they're only going to talk to me. They're not going to talk to anybody else. There's rumors flying around. There was searches done. I can't say how many. Morrison Run, Chapman's Dam. Somebody said the reservoir, but there was a body not too long found up there. So that makes me lead to think, how well was the reservoir done? There have been dogs, divers, where and who, I don't know. I'm not told. It's not that I'm going to show up, but I would like at least to thank the people that have come. This is the way the investigation has gone. Begging and begging and begging. Begging for some information. Are you close? Do you have any ideas? Just you think he would know. Where exactly did he drop him off? What house did he drop him off at? All he kept saying is, I don't know. Damien's friends really didn't say much. I guess the Warren police and even myself scared them. How can they not know? Oh yeah, they knew something. They wouldn't talk to the police, the parents. If one of Damien's friends came up missing, I'd be dragging him right by the arm down to the police station saying, you tell what you know. Parents would say, my kid is underage and does not need to talk to you. Parents weren't bringing the kids weren't giving any information. My private detective, Herzog, that I hired, he couldn't get any information. I always have had a problem with any of the friends or even their parents. Why, if they weren't involved, why can't they talk to me? Or why can't they talk to the police? Whoever did this either had an upper hand somehow or something happened. I don't know, and I don't know how to explain it. The state police, the sheriff's department, they were all waiting to be asked. You have to be asked to help. You can't just jump in. The behind the scenes of the law is amazing. They had some ideas, and there was somebody that was targeted. He's in prison right now. At this point, I don't choose to name names, because I was pretty sure he did it. Yeah. To go through this experience, you jump all over the place. You're running in this direction, that direction. Who do I believe? Where do I go to for information? And I got a letter from an inmate that stated that he knows everything about Damien's case and that it should have been totally solved by now. And when I called Shemeni to ask him about this, first thing he said is, "Can I have the letter?" Sure, after I copy it. Damien was 22 and he was a boy. He's not a young child and he's not a girl. And we're not rich. We are not an officer's family or anything like that, which puts him at the bottom of the pile. And I do know what happens that way. I have talked to hundreds of families from missing persons, and it's always the adult male that get the least exposure. And that is a proven fact. I've talked to profilers, I've talked to investigators, and it is a proven fact. I'm asking anybody that had seen Damien on May 25th that year, whether you were walking on the sidewalk, you went past him in your vehicle, if you can remember what time and where you were. I don't care if you've seen him with somebody or without somebody. Any little thing does matter. Anything that would give us closure. I know Damien's out there, and the hardest thing to think about is his bones that are left, and that's all that's left to him. Being scattered by animals, people probably kicking them and don't even know what they are. It's not right to somebody's soul. So if I can get a little bit of help, myself and my family would appreciate it very much.
To see to touch
And this is the person, or persons, that have taken Damien. I hope you feel guilty. I hope that it just gnaws on you. Police come up behind you. Do they know it's you? Are they going to go past you? Are they going to pull you over? Do the person in front of you, the person in back of you, do they know?